Hey folks, Brad here at the Maritime Paintball Podcast, back with another PB Swag Bag review, this time for the month of October, and man, this month's bag is good. I mean, they're all good, right? I don't think I've ever not liked one of them. This one, but they're finding products that, I guess they're finding them, and they're doing a great job finding them, but the people who are creating some of these items are solving some problems I didn't know people had, but I mean, they're great. So we'll get into it and you'll see what I mean. But before we get there, just remember, you head on over to pbswagbag.com and use the code MPP10. Score yourself 10% off your first bag. That way you can give it a try. If you love it, great. If you hate it, it's also, well, it's not great, but it is what it is, and at least you know, right? So give it a try and let me know what you think. So on to the first item. So the first item for the PB Swag Bag for October is probably the least interesting. It's still a really good item. It's just, it's the least interesting. It's a item that if you've seen one, you've seen them all. They all do the same thing. They all just look a little bit different. It's the Bunker Kings barrel blocker with the big old We Kill Suckers logo on there. Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't it used to be We Kill Suckers? S-U-C-K-A? Or was it always Suckers? Anyways, I'll have to look into that. This thing's great. It's a really great build. It feels good in the hands. It looks great on the marker. It's your basic silicone barrel blocker. What more do you need, right? It goes on the barrel. When you're in the staging area, it comes off, usually throw it in a pocket or into a bucket or something. Anyways, they're great. They're good to have. I keep losing mine because I keep loaning them out and then I forget to get them back. Luckily, I get one of these from PB Swag Bag on a fairly regular basis, so I'm not usually out one of these. I've always got something. So this one I'm definitely going to keep around though, just because I really like Bunker Kings. So I'm keeping this one for myself. So yeah, it's a barrel blocker. I really don't know what more to say about it. So it's pretty good. It's well made. I like it. It's cool. All right, on to the second item. So the second item on the PB Swag Bag for October is, again, a little mundane. It's not anything exciting, but little backstory, I guess, a little bit of, so PB Swag Bag has been including these sheets of paper with like little blurbs on them explaining the product. And this one had a little detail that I didn't really know about until I read the little blurb. So what we're talking about is the Exalt Supreme Barrel Swab. So this isn't a barrel made. This has got the soft bits on both sides, so it polishes the barrel. These are great to have in one pocket when you got the barrel made in the other, right? So you use the barrel made, squeegee it out, and then maybe you just need a quick polish. That's what these things are great for. They kind of put like a mirror finish on the inside of the barrel, depending if your barrel is polished on the inside. If you're rifled, well, whatever. This thing's great. It's classic Exalt. It's got Exalt there. The gold and black, I love the color combination. Now, what made this interesting to me and stood out was the little blurb mentioned that this black fuzzy stuff, which I always thought was like cotton or maybe a nylon, or not nylon, maybe like a polyester, like a synthetic blend. I always thought it was synthetic or cotton or something. Turns out it's sheepskin. So this is, I guess, wool. This is like a sheep wool. Yeah. So I guess they're not, if it really is sheepskin, because they say sheepskin gives the best polish. I guess the Exalt barrel swabs aren't vegan. Who would have thought? Anyways, I thought that was kind of neat. It is very, very soft, really, really well made. And of course, being Exalt means that I like it because I really enjoy Exalt products. They make some great stuff. So, yeah, it's a barrel swab. Seen one, you've seen them all. But I thought it was kind of neat that they included the detail, the fact that this is sheepskin. So, I thought that was kind of neat. Anyways, that's what I got to say about a barrel swab, because what more can you really say? So, on to item number 3. So our last, but definitely not least, if anything, this is the most interesting item of the bunch for the PB Swag Bag for October, is the infamous Paintball Pro DNA pod bag. So I know what you're thinking, but Brad, it's a pod bag. What could you possibly care about it? Like, what could possibly be interesting about this? And I kind of thought the same thing at first too. So let me break it down for you. First of all, this thing looks amazing. It looks super sharp. You've got the beautiful, like, Infamous black and green. I think Infamous used to be black and yellow, didn't they? And then I think NXL got rid of yellow paint. I forget. Anyways, it just looks really sharp. I had to laugh, though, because the day I cracked this open live on the air, me and my boy Tom there were cracking jokes about skulls being super tryhardy and kind of like a little cringy. And I busted this open. I was like, oh, hey, look, skulls. So Infamous Paintball has come out with a ton of great gear all of a sudden, and I'm really pumped to see it. Now, it's a pod bag, right? So it's what more can you say about it other than it cinches up at the top, right? It closes up. It's got a carrying handle on the side, so when it's full of pods, you carry it. But what they did is they took it one step further, and they added a zipper to the bottom, which at first I didn't really understand. I thought maybe it was like, if it's full of pods, instead of flipping it and opening it up that way, you could just hold this over like the pod tub and just zip it open and then the pods fall out. And that's what I initially thought. But then when I read the little blurb that comes with it from PB Swag Bag, they mentioned that the reason why it opens like this, so you can see clean through it, is it turns into a one-person changing room. So the idea is that you basically put this, you step into it, you open up the zipper, you step into it, you cinch it over your waist, right? And you cinch that tight, and then you can change without anybody seeing your bits and pieces, which I thought was a neat idea. Except when I hold this up, I can see through it. So maybe you can't see through it in the daylight. Maybe it's my studio lights that allow me to see through it. Anyways, but I thought it was kind of a neat idea that if you're one of those people and you got to change out of your shorts or out of your pants or whatever you're wearing, and you don't want to do it in front of people and you got nowhere to go and you definitely don't want to be doing it in no porta-john, you got a personal changing room right here. I don't really have that problem. Maybe I'm just a terrible person, but I tend to just change my pants next to my car. But I guess maybe if you're in the pits, you don't have that option. That actually makes a lot of sense now that I say it out loud. So yeah, it's cool. I'm digging this. I'm loving that Infamous is coming out with some really cool, innovative products. They look really, really good. This is definitely going to turn into a laundry bag because I don't carry nearly enough pods to need a pod bag, and I'm not on a team, so I definitely don't need a pod bag, but this is going to be a kick-ass laundry bag. This is what I'm going to throw all of my dirty paintball clothes in so that it doesn't dirty up my trunk of my car or my gear bag or anything like that. So really great thing. Loving that Infamous is doing this. I'm loving the cool products. They got coffee, which I thought was cool. I really wanted to try, but $50 Canadian to get a pound of coffee, a bit much. It was like $25 Canadian for a pound and then $25 in shipping. Couldn't do it. I couldn't justify it. So anyways, if you got the Infamous coffee, let me know what you thought. I want to know what it was like. I mean, odds are it's just a generic blend that they slapped their label on. I don't know. I'm not an expert, so that's it. So that was the PB Swag Bag. That's it for October. I mean, it was only a handful of items. It was only 3 items, but we're definitely talking quality over quantity here. Great, love to see that. I'm all about the quality over the quantity, as we've seen in the past. Some, not these PB Swag Bags, but I have seen some loot bags where it was just like, here's 40 items, and there's like $6 worth of stuff in the entire bag. It was just atrocious. So yeah, if you want to check out the PB Swag Bag, like I said at the beginning of the video, head on over to pbswagbag.com, sign up, use the code MPP10, score yourself 10% off your first bag. Think of it as a trial. Give it a shot. If you like it, great. If you don't, just cancel, no big deal. And maybe you're not into loot boxes, but I mean, we're starting to get into the holiday season, so maybe you get a loot box or a loot bag for a friend, you know, a one-time deal. Here's a swag bag, you know, and you have it shipped to them or you give it to them, whatever. It's a great idea. That way you could be like, I know you like paintball, so I got you a paintball loot bag. And if it's stuff they don't like, well, it's not your fault. So it's a win-win. It's a win-win. Anyways, that's it. I'm out of here. Don't forget to check me out every Friday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time over on Facebook at Maritime Paintball Podcast. You can also find me over on the old Instagram at Maritime Paintball Podcast. That's it. I'm out of here. Thank you so much. Cheers.